Hi, year 8s. Our next exercise is called adding and subtracting like terms. Adding and subtracting terms, 5C. So I'll give you a chance to copy those notes down. Alrighty. So the thing I want you to get understanding this topic is when you add and subtract terms, you can only add and subtract like terms. You got that, everyone? You can only do it with like terms. If it's not a like term, you cannot add and subtract them. Do you understand that? Say it again. You can only add and subtract like terms. Okay. So I've written it right there, very first sentence. You can only add and subtract like terms. Okay, hopefully you understand that now. So what is a like term? Like terms are terms that have exactly the same pronumerals. So they must be identical. Let's have a look. So like terms, if you look at this first line, 5x minus 3x, just x, so that's 1x. 45x, these are all like terms because what is the pronumeral? The pronumeral in each case is x, just normal x. So they are like terms. So if they were in an expression, we could actually simplify that by adding or subtracting them, depending on where they were. Let's have a look at the next one. xy squared. So that's a term still. It's x and it's y times y, so y squared. And if you have a look at the next one, y squared x. We've written it in a different order, but it's still exactly the same term as that. So it's y squared and it's got a single x. 4xy squared, because the term bit is xy squared, and here minus 2y squared x. So they're all identical. It's got a single x times by y squared. I've just changed the order of them. So can you see they're all like terms, all those ones. Generally speaking, we do it in alphabetical order. So I wouldn't normally write y squared x. I'd write it as xy squared. But if they did write it like that, you've got to realise, just rewrite it and realise they're like terms. Alright, let's look at the next one, not like terms. So if you had an xy term and an x term, they're not the same because they're not identical. X squared y, and x squared y squared. None of them are identical if you look at those terms. So they're not like terms. You couldn't add them together at all. And some people get confused with this. Minus 7x and minus 7. They're not like terms. This is an x term. This is a constant. It doesn't even have a pronumeral next to it. This one is x. Okay, I made a little mistake. Let's make that x squared. That's better. X squared. So I was going to say x and x would be like terms. I did it on purpose. Thanks, little Johnny in the back, for picking that up. So x squared and x, they're not like terms. And this term here is xy. So that none of those are like terms. Excellent. Good job, everyone. I'm glad you picked up that x squared bit. So, what do you have to do? So all you have to do for this topic is simplify the following. So simplify some expressions. When it says simplify, you simplify by collecting like terms. So let's find the like terms. 7x plus 3x minus 1x. They are all like terms because it's an x term, an x term, and an x term. Since they are all like terms, we can add and subtract them. Okay, so let's do it from left to right. 7x plus 3x is 10x. 10x minus 1x is 9x. So there's no workings out. You can do that in your head. So you write down the answer there. So to simplify that expression, the answer is 9x. Let's look at the next one. You can only add and subtract like terms. So we've got 4y minus 5y. They look like terms to me. Then look at the next bit. We've got an x and an x. So these two here are like terms together, and those two are like terms, but they're not all like terms, if that makes sense. So you can only add the like terms together. So 4y minus 5y is negative 1y. So I'll write that here, and you don't write the 1, so negative y. And then, look here, we've got 2x plus 3x is 5x. So these two combine to make 5x. So we write down here, plus 5x. So to answer that question, these two combine to make minus y. these two add together to make 5x. So the answer is negative y plus 5x. You cannot simplify this any further. Why? Because they're not like terms. That's a y term and that's an x term. Can everyone see that? Excellent. You might get a trick question like this in a test. Simplify 4x plus 5y. Can you do it? You know what some people say? They say, oh, the answer is 9xy or something like that. I've never taught you that. That is not a rule. Are these like terms? That's an x term, that's a y term. The answer is no, they're not the same. So to simplify that, you cannot do it. The answer is 4x plus 5y. That was a trick question. You cannot simplify them because they are not like terms. Next one, 3ab squared. So look at the pronumeral here. The term is ab squared. And here it's ab squared. So they are like terms. You've got 3 of them here, you've got 4 of them there. So 3 plus 4 is 7. So you've got 7 of them in total. So you've got 7 ab squareds. See, just think of it as an ab squared. And so you've got 3 of them and you've got 4 of them. Add them together, you've got... Alrighty, so back to this one. So when you add these two together, you get 7ab squared. Okay, let's look at the last one. Let's look at the terms carefully. This term has no pronumeral, so it's called a constant. It's just a number. This one's an A term. Can you see that? It's an A term. This one's a B term. So far, we have no like terms. You can't add those 3 together. But if you look here, there's another B term. So these 2 are the same. There's another A term, and there's another constant. So there's 2 of each of them. So I'm going to start in alphabetical order, and then I'll do the constants at the end. So we've got 7a plus 1a. So I'll circle them if you want. 7a plus 1a gives me 8a. So there's 8 a's. Then I've got 3b plus 2b. 3b plus 2b is 5b. So it's plus 5b. Then I do the numbers. I've got 7 plus 1 is 8. So I've got plus 8 there. So can I add these together and simplify it further? No, you can't, because they are not like terms. Remember, there's an A term, that's a B term, and that's a constant, which is number 8. Good job. Hopefully you got no questions. Hopefully you're okay with that. And here's our exercise, 5C, page 301. You can just do questions 1 to 8 all, because it's not very, the exercise is not very big. So, good job everyone. See you soon.